Oh, what's going on, everyone? Thank you so much for joining me here on Narcissism 101 Cracking the Code with me, Paul Wisdom. All right, so today, what are we going to be cracking the code on today, y'all? We are going to be cracking the code on the devaluation stage. Yes, the narcissist and the devaluation stage. So, I think I had mentioned this before. The devaluation stage is the longest part of the narcissistic abusive cycle, and we are going to talk about that. We're going to get into that. We're going to talk about what it is. We're going to talk about what actually goes on within the devaluation stage. And please feel free to comment. Feel free to drop comments below if you know about this, if you have experienced this yourself, or if you know someone who's going through this. Like I always say in the beginning of my videos, I do one-on-one coaching sessions. If you want to talk, if you want some advice, if it's an emergency and you want someone to reach out to, I'm more than happy to hear what you have to say. I have quite a bit of experience with this, and I'm also always ready and willing to help. So my email is paul.wisdom_03@hotmail.com. You can reach out to me there, or like I said, if you have an emergency, you can reach out to me through texting at 647-406-3057. I'm more than happy to help you if you have an emergency situation, or if you just need some help, or if you don't know whether your partner or spouse is a narcissist or someone else in your life. I'm more than happy to help. So please feel free. Okay, so we are going to be talking about the devaluation stage. So, first of all, what is the devaluation stage? So, the devaluation stage is the second part of the narcissistic abusive cycle. It usually starts once the love bomb stage ends. Yes, obviously, but the devaluation stage, we have to define it. So, what does it actually mean to devalue something or someone? So, typically, when you devalue someone, typically you're basically showing them that you don't respect them, that they don't have value in your life anymore. Think of a car. When you buy a car, when you first purchase a car and you drive it out the lot, it depreciates in value, right? I'm sure most of us have cars. Most of us have purchased cars before, and we know that when we purchase cars, they devalue once you drive them out the lot. Same thing happens with the narcissistic abusive cycle. Usually, once the love bomb stage, once they pull you in with their love bombing nonsense and all that, once that's over, and like I said in the previous video, the love bomb stage, nobody knows for sure when it's going to end. It all depends on the narcissist, and it all depends on it really just all depends on the narcissist. Sometimes it can last a week, sometimes it can last a month, it can last a few months, it can last a year, it can last 2 years. It really all depends on the narcissist. But I can tell you right now, the love bomb stage, it's really a fake show. I'll tell you all that. It's really fake, and it's a narcissist pretty much showing you, trying to reel you in, because what they're trying to do is they create this narrative of this person, who they are not. And so what they do is in the love bomb stage, they want to learn about your hopes, your dreams, your aspirations. They want to learn everything about you, as much as they can learn about you, as much as you want to share with them. Now, back then, you didn't know they were a narcissist, right? And so, in that time, you're explaining, you're telling them your hopes, your dreams, where you see yourself in the next 5 years. Do you want to have kids? Do you not want to have kids? You're telling them. You're pretty much spilling the beans. You're telling them everything you're telling them everything about yourself, all your past relationships, how many siblings you have, all this stuff. You're giving them everything. And when you're giving them all this, they're taking notes in their mind. They're gonna weapon, and they know that they're going to weaponize it against you at a specific day. You ever heard that saying, that when someone's being arrested, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Yeah, same thing with the narcissistic relationship. Anything you say can and will be used against you at a later date. This later date, I don't know. It could be 50 years. It could be 10 years, 4 years. You don't really know. But one thing for sure is that, you know that the devaluation stage has started when the narcissist is no longer showing you any love. It's when all that love that they were showing you in the beginning, all of a sudden you're wondering, where this person used to text me every single day, good morning and all of that, and everything was great. And now all of a sudden things have shifted, and they've shifted like that, like the snap of a finger, and I can't understand why. Well, the truth is that now you are in the devaluation stage. That's when the narcissist is pulling back. They're no longer showing you the love. They're no longer showing you that they actually care about you. They're showing you their true colors. The true person is starting to show. They may start. They may start to not want to be around you as much. They may start to give you the cold shoulder. If they're sitting beside you on the couch, which which I've experienced myself. If you're sitting there on the couch, they're on one of their three smartphones, or they're doing something. They're not engaging with you as much. They're not showing you respect. That's another thing, is that they after a while they stop showing you the respect that you deserve. They if let's say that you cook them dinner and things like that, usually you have the dinner ready before they come home, and now they send you a message saying, "Oh, I'm gonna be late coming home." Where do you think they are when they don't show up for you? Most likely, what they're doing there is they're showing you, one, how little they care about you, and second, chances are they're grooming your replacement, the person they're going to replace you with, which is known as the new supply, which I'll talk about in another video about the supply and all that stuff. But generally speaking, that's what the devaluation stage is, and they ramp this up. And the truth is, all the terms that I was explaining. That's why I encourage you guys that in the videos I made about the glossy of the terms, like what is object constancy, what is manipulation, what is a smear campaign. That's why I encourage you guys to watch those videos, because those videos, all of those glossary terms, is what the narcissist is doing to you within the devaluation stage. So they're triangulating you, they're manipulating you, they're gaslighting you. The smear campaign is a different one, just because the smear campaign had started when the narcissist knew that they had you in the love bomb stage. When they put their themselves into you, that's when the devaluation stage started, and that's when the smear campaign was starting. But the thing is, you didn't know that the smear campaign was even starting. You didn't even know that there was such thing as a smear campaign. You didn't know that the person that kept saying "I love you" to you actually wanted to destroy your life and was doing it behind closed doors. You just didn't know about it, because you thought, you wouldn't think to yourself that if the person loves me, why and they, or if the person didn't like me, why would they want to go forth into a relationship with me? This just doesn't make any sense. Well, the truth is, if they are a narcissist, then they will do that, because narcissists, they go into relationships, and they get into relationships with people not because they love them and not because they want the relationship. They get into these relationships because it's about what they want to take from that person, what they want to take from you. Right? They want to take your energy. They want to steal your money. That's another thing. Narcissists really love money. I'm not sure why. It's so odd, I know, but narcissists love money, and one thing they love more than their money is your money. And they're gonna insidiously start taking your money before you know it. You're gonna be spending a lot of money on them. This is actually during the devaluation stage. You're gonna start spending a lot of money on them. You're going to start, because the thing is, you love this person, right? You want the best for them, but the truth is, they don't want the best for you. They hate you. They have disdain for you, and it's showing in the devaluation stage. So the devaluation stage, like I said in my other video, it begins usually when something pivotal happens. For example, you get married to them, or you move in with them, or you start a family with them. You have a kid, and now they start pulling back. They start not showing you that they truly love you, like they said in the love bomb stage. They start, pulling back, and they start showing how much they hate you. Because narcissists are jealous of you. The other thing narcissists is, they're jealous of you. They don't have your best interests at heart. It's because that's just who they are. It's been engraved in them from childhood to hate people and to manipulate people. And chances are, most narcissists in their past life, sorry, my throat, most narcissists in their past, they had some past trauma that they never got resolved. Whether it was a parent that hated them, whether it was the fact that they weren't shown true love and affection, whether it was that whether it was in their past that somebody told them something like you will never amount to anything, or you're not a good person even though they were a very, maybe a very loving person. It all goes back to their childhood and how they were devalued or invalidated as a child, and so this bleeds into their life as they get older. Now, that living in a life like that, it isn't easy and it's not fun. Definitely, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. But that's generally how narcissists are, created, because of the lifestyle that they were brought up in. And so the other thing is that most narcissists, and this is most of them, not all of them, but most of them, I would say maybe 9 out of 10 of them. Most of them grew up in single parent homes where they were grew up where it was a single mom, because what I found is that people who grow up in single homes where it's a single parent, mostly when it's a single mother, they grow up unstable. There's instability. There's not a lot of, you don't grow up with strength and courageousness because you grew up with a single mom. Now I'm not going to get into the logistics of all that of why, but I'm just saying that what I've observed and what I've noticed is that people who grow up in parents where it's a single mother, they grow up unstable and they don't grow up to be very strong, rather than if it was a single father, for example. But that's how most narcissists are. That's what happens to most of them from their childhood, because they grew up with their parents fighting, and all that stuff, all that other stuff. So during the devaluation stage, what you can expect is that the narcissist is going to carry this out as long as they can, right? And when I say as long as they can, it's literally just that, as long as they can. Like I said, it could be a year, it could be 3 years, it could be a week, the devaluation stage, but it's the longest part of your relationship or marriage or whatever situationship you have with the narcissist. And they are pretty much showing you that they don't care about you, that they don't love you, that they don't want to be around you as much anymore. They start spending less time with you. They start spending more time at work. If they say that, they'll be home at 7, they end up being home at 8 o'clock. Or if they say that you guys planned a date, for example, you're going out to this restaurant, and then they show up, then you guys set a date. You guys said we're going to be leaving at this time. They end up starting an intentional argument with you, and then before you know it, now you're upset and you don't even want to go out to dinner anymore, because now you feel depleted, and now that shows that the narcissist is devaluing you. This is throughout the devaluation stage. Or for example, you do something very special for them, and then they say, "Oh, why couldn't you do this for me instead? Why couldn't you give me this instead?" It's all showing that they're devaluing you. That's part of the devaluation stage. They're showing how much disdain that they have for you, how much they hate you, how much they don't care about you, right? And so the narcissist, remember, the narcissist is callous, they're selfish, they're greedy, they don't care about anybody but themselves, and most times they don't even care about themselves, because if they cared about themselves, they would want to go get help, go get therapy, go get counseling, but the thing is, they can't do that. They can't do any of that. And in fact, if they do go to counseling, it's so that they can use the counselor to hate you. They want to actually manipulate the counselor into thinking that their spouse or the other person in their life is a bad person, when really you're not a bad person. But they do this because they're devaluing you and they do not care about you. So another thing the narcissist does during the devaluation stage is that they don't they create this picture that they are the victim. They start showing a lot more that they are the victim. And so when you start holding them accountable for stuff and saying, "Yo, why aren't you spending much time with me anymore? Why are you showing me that you don't care about me anymore?" And you confront them and you try to hold them accountable, then they'll say, "Oh, it's your fault. You're the bad person. You are the person. You're the reason why I don't spend time with you. Maybe if you did A, B, and C, then I would spend more time with you." But really, if you were to do those things for them, which I'm sure you did, you poured your heart out to them, you gave them the sun, the moon, and the stars, then they'll still say that they want more. And that's also what's known as goalposting, moving the goalpost. You do something for them, and let's just say, hypothetically, let's just say that the narcissist says something to the effect of, I don't feel like we're having enough sex. I don't feel like I don't feel like you're loving me the same way you used to love me. Really, what they're doing there is they're actually projecting their own traits onto you. They're showing you that they're the ones that are not being loving towards you. But the reason why they do this, and the reason why they do that, is because they're moving the goalpost. So they say that, let's just say, for instance, with sex, they say, I will give you more sex if you do this. If you take care of my the yard, for example, in your house. If you do this, then we will have more sex. So you do that, you take care of everything, and then you say, I did all that, and then they say, oh well, can you cook me, a 3-course meal, for example? And then you go and do that. It's beautiful, it's delicious, and then they eat it, and then they say, oh, can you also take care of that for me? And then you go and do that. You go to the store, you take care of whatever needs to be taken care of, and then they still say, oh, could you also do that for me too? See, the narcissists, they're selfish, they're greedy, and they're doing that not only to devalue, but they want to drain your energy, because after doing all that, I'm sure you're going to be tired. You're going to be burnt out. And that's what the narcissist wants. They want to see how much of this abuse, how much devaluation can you take? How much of it can you take? How much of it is going to be too much before you actually blow up, before you say, I can't do this anymore, right? That's what happens during the devaluation stage. The narcissist excuse me, just like that ending, the narcissist wants to test you. They want to test and see how much of the abuse can you take. That's what they're doing all throughout the narcissistic abusive cycle. The narcissist wants to see how much of their poor behavior that you can take. Now, I don't wish that anybody takes on I don't wish that anyone sticks around for somebody's poor behavior to validate their poor behavior. I don't wish that upon them. So now that you have the information about the devaluation stage, you have to decide, do you want to stick around for the abuse, or do you want to walk away knowing that you don't have to tolerate anybody's poor abuse? And like I said, guys, don't forget, narcissists come in all forms and shapes and sizes, and they're of all races. Every race is plagued with narcissism. So don't think that just because you're white or you're black or you're Chinese or you're Indian or you're Latino or any of that stuff, don't think that is just familiar to that race. Every race is plagued with it, okay? And so you have to make a decision. Do you want to stick around for that, or do you want to just get up and do you want to just leave? Now, I will say this during the devaluation stage. If you know that your narcissist is dangerous, in other words, they're known as a malignant narcissist, which I'll talk about. I'll make a video on covert narcissist, malignant narcissist, overt I'll make a video on all those. But for this video, if you find out that your narcissist is dangerous, like they have anger issues, like they punch the wall or they throw things or they get angry very easily, what I would suggest, I don't suggest that you tell them anything about you. In other words, I don't suggest that you tell them that you're actually going to leave. The reason why is because if the narcissist knows that you're going to leave them, one, it's going to take a shot to their ego. They're going to experience what's called a narcissistic injury. But what's also going to happen is that they're going to become more and more abusive towards you. And then narcissists are very good at, remember what I said, narcissists are good at playing the victim. So what they're going to do is they're going to play the victim, and they're also going to brainwash they could get the authorities involved. This is also why narcissists can be very dangerous. They could get the authorities involved. They could tell the cops, they could tell the governments that, you're the problem, that you were the abuser, and you could get yourself into trouble if you're not careful. So what I suggest is you develop an exit plan. And where I I would start by telling your close family members, that's if they're still around, close friends that you trust, a close friend that you trust that the narcissist does not know about. Tell this close friend that you want to move in with them, and let them know that, I know that you know everything about my narcissist abusive person. I want to move in with you just to be safe, okay? You develop a plan to move in with them, and you tell them, I'm going to start moving my stuff out slowly. But when you move your stuff out, do it when the narcissist is not around. If they're at work, if they're wherever they are all around the globe, gallivanting the globe for your replacement, do it then. Do it then. Start moving stuff out Start moving, but do it quickly and do it fast. Do it slowly without them knowing. And once you move all your stuff out, don't come back to the place where you and the narcissist were living. Stay out. Just stay at that person's place. Be safe. Protect yourself. But remember, but at this stage, many people are scared. They don't know what to do, and this is what you must do to protect yourself. The other thing I would suggest, if you can't do that, if you don't have any family members or friends that you can trust, what I would suggest is just to start gray rocking. Just become dull, become boring. Don't share anything about them, about yourself. If they're asking you, how was your day today? Say, good. Okay. It was okay. It was good. And then if they start asking you stuff, maybe this is what tipped off my narcissist. What I did was I said, the weather's nice outside. It's beautiful outside. And then they started giving me she started giving me this look, and then she started noticing that I was actually catching on, and it actually pissed her off. It actually made her throw a rage fit at me. And then, but what I'm saying is, do this to protect yourself. Start being more silent. Start not talking as much. Start disengaging as much. If the narcissist invites you out with their family or wherever, say no, thank you, I'm fine, I'll just stay away. And eventually the narcissist will catch on, and they'll say, okay, this one's catching on. And then they'll start distancing themselves from you, because they'll know inside their heads. Because remember this too, narcissists also have a sixth sense. They know when somebody's catching on. They know when has figured them out. And when they know that they've figured you out, then they're going to plan for the discard, which is what I'll make a video on next, which is the most painful part of the narcissistic abusive cycle that I wouldn't wish anybody to have to go through. But during this time, when the narcissist has to know that you figured out, now they're going to start distancing themselves from you. Now they're going to start really looking for your replacement, because they know that, oh my gosh, so and so is catching on. I didn't think that they would ever catch on. And so this is what happens during the devaluation stage. Okay, guys? So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for joining me here at Narcissism 101 Cracking the Code. Like I always say, if you have any questions, if you know anything, please drop comments below. I would like to see your comments. Maybe you guys can teach me something. I'm always willing to learn more about narcissist abuse. Like I said, I've been through it myself. I've got quite a bit of experience with it. I really like to hear your comments. I look forward to seeing you guys on the next video, which is known as the Narcissist and the Discard. So thank you so much for joining me here. Continue watching the videos. Because if this is your first video, please, I encourage you to go to the beginning and watch the videos about the defining the glossary of the terms, because that will explain a lot more. It'll make a lot more sense if you do it that way. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you on the next video. I hope this video helped you out. Thank you for joining me here.